Hi, today on Random Help, I'm going to be talking about revision preparation. So, this is not the revision technique, so not when you're revising. This is just before you're revising and how to approach revision itself. So, if you're thinking of these revision techniques, it's not about the revision techniques. I'll make another video of it later on, hopefully, and that's that. So, let's get to it. So, revision has a lot of barriers, let's say. So, a lot of the barriers could be procrastination, sleeping issues, um, addictions to things. There are a lot of barriers. Now, one of the barriers is procrastination, and how do you tackle that? So, a lot of the time when you're revising, maybe using the internet, you tend to search up things, and maybe you suddenly go on YouTube and you search up a certain video, and then there's a column where it says, "Oh, related videos," and you click and click and click and click and go to different parts of YouTube that you don't even need to know, right? And then you get bogged down in those videos, and you forget to revise properly about for your own subject. So the best thing to do is close the laptop and put it to one side, and most of the times, most revision for most subjects have a book, so use that book. If you were looking for definitions or things like that, there's something called a dictionary. And if you really do need the internet, write down what you need the internet for. So you make get a piece of paper and say, all right, I'm going to check this, 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 and this. So you know specifically what you're looking for, and you don't go on YouTube and things like that, saying, oh, I'll go for this and this. No, you're not structured. You're not structuring yourself properly. Put in a piece of paper. What do you want to really look at in the internet, and then go on it. Um, so that's number two. Oxygen. Half the time when you are revising, you're going to be in a room where you have closed windows, maybe closed doors, and you're just revising. And that tends to decrease the oxygen saturation levels in the air. So the best thing to do is open the windows. Okay, maybe if you don't want to open the door, that's fine, but at least open the windows and let air in, because you require oxygen so your brain can work efficiently. If you want more science, the science behind that, I may leave links below, but I'm not too sure. All right, next one. Just before you're about to revise, or the day before you revise, prepare everything. So, if you have maybe economics revision like me, put the book there, put the part papers you need to do, and lay it there. So lay it in your study table. So when you're ready to study, you could just say, "Oh, it's already there, and I'm going to study already." Because a lot of people tend to do is, "Oh, I'm going to find the book just before I revise," and then they get into this mood like, "Oh, I'm going to do this instead or this instead," and they find other things to procrastinate on. So the best thing to do is leave everything you need on the table. So as soon as as soon as it's time for you to revise, you sit down and you take the book out and you're like, "All right, I'm starting to revise." Sleep. Sleep is very important, because if you don't get enough of it, then it makes it really hard to revise. Because when you're revising, you tend to want to take naps, and you won't revise anything properly because you have a lack of sleep. Sleep is also important because it helps you to process the information you've given. Another good tip is, well, this is still in the sleeping category, is before you go to sleep, you should do the hardest problem, like maybe math problem, history problem, anything. The hardest stuff you should do just before you go to sleep, because maybe you're not able to do it at that time. But there are two things. At that time, your brain works the best at that time. Anyway, just before you go to sleep, and after you go to sleep. So say you didn't be able to. So after you go to sleep, you wake up, and that question, when you look at it again, you'll be like, oh wait, I could tackle it in this angle, and you're able to figure it out. So that's something you could try out. Oh, just people tend to say that sleep you should do only 7 hours, but don't constrain yourself. If you have a vacation, or sorry, holiday, or a half term, then you should not put any sort of alarm on. Go to sleep and wake up when you need to wake up. When your brain says, "All right, that's it. I've had enough sleep," because that time your body has removed all its toxic chemicals that it needs to do, and you will be able to work more efficiently that way. So no more alarms during holidays, and during school term, try to sleep early as well. Also, food. Food is quite important when you are revising, because sometimes people revise for such a long period of time with a lack of food, and instead of your body processing the information in your brain saying, oh, okay, I'm gonna be doing this, your body is actually being inefficient when you have a lack of food, because your body is trying to take up all the actual resources you have in your body and try to use those. So try to stack up on food and have a balanced diet as well, and that is really important to ensure that you do the best when you're revising. There is no sort of, oh, if you have more of this or more of this is better. Balanced diet is the best option to do, trust me. So some people may prefer to revise at home, some people might like to revise that in the library. But what is important is you find where you can revise the best at. So for me, I revise best at school or in the library where there are a lot of people around, because once I'm alone, I tend to do a lot of procrastination and do other things instead of revising properly. So you should find the place you can learn effectively. This does not mean that once you found that place that it's there and that is the place I will always study. It can change from year to year or month to month. So experiment around, but it won't change that drastically. So every so often, like maybe every 6 months, see if you are revising properly or not. If you are finding it fine, then that is the place for you and you are going to revise it properly. But maybe there are slight changes, maybe in the events you've had, whatever life crisis there, and you find that a different revision area is better for you. So it's key to find your revision area, and that's that. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you learned more about how to prepare for your revision and help you to stop procrastinating and things like that. I will be doing a few more videos in terms of time management and also on revision techniques. So when you are revising, how to revise efficiently. If you have any that you want to share, put in the comments below and let everyone know about it. And also, if you like this video, leave a thumbs up. And that's all from me today. Random Hope, over and out, and I'll see you next time.